When the song was first released, people confused it with the Gene Hackman movie of the same name, thinking it was from the film. What was ironic too, the song was recorded in Canada one of the few times this artist did so in the Great White North. So on Behind the Tracks today, we're looking at another Bob Seger song, and has been re-released so many times that there's a modern video of it as well. It's called Night Moves. Now, lead single from his ninth studio album, the same name, which came out in '76, released on Capitol. He wrote the song as a coming-of-age tale about adolescent love and an adult memory of it. It was based on Seger's teenage love affair, which he experienced in the early '60s. It took him 6 months to write and was recorded quickly at Nimbus 9 Studios in Toronto with producer Jack Richardson. As much of Seger's Silver Bullet Band had returned home by this point, the song is recorded with several local session musicians. Now, released as a single in December '76, it ranked number 4 in the Billboard Hot 100, becoming Seger's first hit single since Ramblin' Gamblin' Man from 1969. It's hard to believe, eh? 7 years. It was also charted at number 5 in Canada, was a top 25 hit in Australia. The song changed Seger from a popular regional favorite to a national superstar. Now, the album version is quite long, 5 minutes and 25 seconds. Single version, 3:20. Now, Night Moves, again, has roots in Seger's adolescence. He wrote the chanson to capture the freedom and looseness he experienced during that period. At a certain point, he began socializing with a rougher crowd. He thought he was cool because he played music. The song's contents are largely autobiographical. For example, the group of friends would often hold parties they called grassers, which would involve going to a farmer's field outside Ann Arbor to dance. Now, the term grassing in Canada means something completely different. It means copulation. So all depends what he called in the eye of the listener. Through these, he met a woman credited as Rennie Andretti in the Encyclopedia of Great Popular Song Recordings, whose boyfriend was away in the military. It was about this dark-haired Italian girl that I went out with when I was 19. She was older than I was. Seger probably pursued a romance with the girl, but eventually her boyfriend returned and they married, leaving Seger broken-hearted. He later told journalist Timothy White that many of his early songs were written to impress her. The song took Seger over 6 months to complete writing. He had recently purchased a house to his success of his first album, Live Bullet, and he and the band would write and practice in a large basement. The ending lyrics were written first. The use of descriptive imagery was inspired by Chris Christopherson's Me and Bobby McGee, a song that Seger loved and which motivated him as he was developing his writing style. Now, the reason is very big in Canada is a line at the end, winter closing in, so it's kind of a fall going back to school song, which was very big in Canada at the time. Now, the main catalyst for writing Night Moves came after Seger saw the '73 film, American Graffiti. I came out of the theater thinking, hey, I got a story to tell too. Nobody's ever told about how it was to grow up in my neck of the woods. He was inspired by the film's depictions of early '60s car culture, of which he was a part. A '96 article in Detroit News claims that Seger wrote portion of the song while at an A&W drive-in in Ann Arbor. He was also inspired by the example of Springsteen Jungleland to include Two Ridges and Night Moves. Now, recorded at Nimbus, Seger and the Silver Bullet Band had gone there for 3 days to record a few tracks with the Guess Who's producer Jack Richardson at the request of Seger's manager, who wanted to produce a more commercial song for the artist. The band quickly recorded 2 Seger originals and a cover of the Motown hit, My World Is Empty Without You, but before Seger left on the third day, he composed a fourth song to record. He had been waiting on the right moment to record Night Moves, as he feared a saxophone performed by Alto Reed would not complement it, and that lead guitar Drew Abbott's playing would not be satisfactory. Richardson remembers Seger first playing the song on the piano in his office, though Seger did not feel it was good enough to record. Now, as the only members of the Silver Bullet Band still in Toronto were Chris Campbell and drummer Charlie Martin, plus Seger on acoustic guitar and piano, Richardson recruited Joe Mickelin to play electric guitar and Doug Raleigh to perform organ. At the same time, Sharon Lee Williams, Rhonda Silver, and Laurel Ward, and Tracy Richardson sang the song's typical background vocals. Now, took about 10 takes in the mid-tempo number that starts again with a very strong acoustic guitar. Now, I really like the title, Seger said in 2015, because it was two-edged. It had a duality to it, working on our night moves, our moves with girls, and ain't it funny how the night moves, and you were what you remember as you've gotten older. Now, Night Moves, again, was a commercial success in the States. It debuted at Billboard Hot 100 during the week of December 11, 76, at number 85, gradually rising over the ensuing weeks to a peak of number 4 on March 12, 77, a position it held for 2 weeks. Again, in total, it spent 21 weeks in the charts and hit number 5 in Canada. The song also charted in Australasian territories. In Australia, it was number 25. New Zealand was 39. The song did not chart in the United Kingdom until 95, when that famous video came out, when it peaked at 45 on April 30th, 95. Now, Night Moves got great critical acclaim. Timothy White of Crawdaddy said the genius of the song is the way Seger challenges the meaning of the phrase Night Moves. For his part, Seger has claimed that Night Moves is his favorite song he ever wrote, and he continued to try to replicate it years afterwards. Now, Rolling Stone named it the best single of the year in 77. It was included in their list of the 500 greatest songs of all time at 31. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame named it one of the 500 songs that shaped rock and roll, Seger's only such selection. Now, filmmaker Gary Weiss, again, produced an unofficial music video for Night Moves that aired on SNL in January 77. In 94, nearly 20 years after the original song was released, an official accompanying music video was released. Directed by Wayne Isham, it was set in a drive-in movie theater in the early 60s. It interspersed footage of Seger performing in a present-day version of the drive-in, seemingly now abandoned, with various vignettes featuring characters describing the song. Matt LeBlanc, a friend of Isham's, was the starring role before his debut in Friends. He later claimed he was drunk through the whole video, as Seger shared a bottle of tequila with him in the musician's motorhome immediately before the shoot. Also featured in the video was Daphne Zuniga of Spaceballs. In the video, Zuniga's dark, edgy woman became an object of visual fascination for LeBlanc's clean-cut young man. Up-and-coming stars Johnny Galecki and Natalie Wood's daughter, Natasha Gregson Wagner, also appeared in the video as a young couple enjoying some time in a blanket. Now, the additional musicians, again, Paul Cotton, who was edited out of the final mix, Joe Michelone, Doug Riley, Rhonda Silver, Laurel Ward, Sharon Lee Williams, and of course, the Guess Who's producer as producer. Now, the rotoscope film American Pop also includes with the main character, Pete Belinsky, portrayed by actor Ron Thompson, playing the song as one opportunity to become a pro musician. Now, in 95-96, the song was used in the closing credits of TNN's broadcast of The Winston. The song can also be heard twice during the first season of the OC. Seger is one of the character Julie's favorite singers. Now, it was also featured in How I Met Your Mother and 30 Rock. The song is also featured in video games, including Grand Theft Auto 5. Now, it also appeared in the TV series Supernatural in the fourth episode of season 11, entitled Baby. Now, year-end charts, Canada 64, US 55, Cashbox 33, Australia weekly charts, 25, Canada number 5, 39 New Zealand, Billboard Hot 104, Cashbox Top 100, Scotland 34 and 45, 2 million copies sold in the US. So whether you like the Night Moves video version, whether you like the original or the album version, Boys of Summer, Summer of 69, the same trope. But Bob Seger, it's hard to believe, for 8 years, he was out of the charts, and then from 1976, 77, maybe he rode the wave of Jackson Browne and the Eagles. You cannot believe how many people have listened to the song through the years. It's probably got 1 billion plays on the radios. I think one of the most important rock songs he ever did, and some people kind of think it's kind of maudlin or triacal, but I can tell you, when summer started in northern New Brunswick in May and ended in August, winter closing in, like winter would start in New Brunswick. In October, once the drive-in closed, you knew winter was going to start in 6 weeks. That's not a joke. So it was like Bob Seger maybe was inspired by doing the music in Canada. He talked about the Canadian, just before climate change. We had some parts of Canada had 7 months of winter back in the day. Now it's like more like 7 weeks. So, ladies and gentlemen, sort of the latest behind the tracks. Let us know what you think of the our new column. Again, just to recap, Our editorials go under 2 cents worked. TV columns go under remote control. Sports columns go under a sports file. Screenshots for movies. And behind the tracks is the latest column name we're using. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, requests in the channel are always highly appreciated and always highly considered. And as we like to say in Northern New Brunswick, when your stock falls $5 trillion in 2 days, keep your stick in the ice. Have a good one.